Pick Radio. We give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. Like to welcome you all to the show. As always, we bring you information and news that really is not widespread as far as in everyday time or what you consider to be the norm. We give you information and news and a perspective on that information and news, none like no other. So for those who are listening, get ready for a treat because I have with me today Mr. Loki, who drops the science and the knowledge, the metaphysical information, and we bring it from a deeper perspective. And hopefully with this knowledge and this information, you can add it to your life, and hopefully it can heal or it can inspire or it can motivate you to be a better person or to be the best you can be. I'd like to welcome Loki to the show. What's going on, God?
Yo, what's going on, Brother Black?
What's the word? Now, when you hear me say God or whatever, I got that from the minister when he say, when you look in the mirror, you should be looking at God. When you see your brother, you looking at God, because we came in the image of likeness of the Most High God. So, that's what that is. So please don't take no offense. But today's topic, we talking about man, woman, and child, and we was conversing on Javante Davis. And can you elaborate a little bit more on that story, just briefly?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of speculation about it. I don't know anything concrete. All I know is that they have on film, somebody, some young lady got snatched up for whatever reason. And so, only thing that I could say about it in general, not because I don't know the details of that situation, I can just speak in general with any kind of situation like that.
Right.
The thing about it is that we want to, especially if we're not under physical attack, it's a thing about casting the first stone, so to speak. Physically, you're talking about, physically.
Right.
So I say a lot of times with, brothers, when they resort to having to, physically, try to manhandle in order to get, a female to do what they want, is because they haven't figured out mentally, and they're not in a place of understanding to be able to mentally do it. So they'll resort to the physical. That's not the way to do it, If it's a situation that can't be resolved, but, mentally or through a conversation, then one needs to step away, give it time, but just step away altogether.
Right.
And that's just bottom line.
That's correct. But that's a practice. That's a skill that one must acquire. 'Cause I know that it's times where, and you see this through the course of time, whether you personally know someone or you've heard of a story such as this, to where, or someone may have told you, where women would say things that they knew would get under your skin to cause a certain reaction. And I call that a gotcha moment, right? I done saw it so many times to where you have some female, and not all, and they might be been taught by their mothers or older women in their family, when they're jockeying for control in a relationship, right? They will do certain things to get at you. So soon as you put your hands on them, that way they can get what they would call, I put the man in your life, or I get them white folks in your life, right? So they call, that way your name is down there in the system. That way now she has herself, and she got old Uncle Sam bagging her, right? So now she's in the driver's seat. So anytime you raise your voice or y'all get in an argument, some women will pull that card out and don't make me call them folks on you again. Your name already down there. So that gives her leverage and control, because some women have been taught that you gotta get them in a situation to where you have leverage or you can control the narrative. And that's an old street hustle game that some women play, and not all. I'm not saying all women, but that is a dynamic that's been played within the community, especially with the black male. And that goes back into slavery, because at one point they had the female deity or the big mama deity, and the slave master would put her in charge over the man and the child. And then the sad part about that is that subconsciously you'd have where the way the relationship of man and woman, of how the ancestors did it, and the man would automatically expect it to be on that level, as far as as what the Bible say, the man leads the house, then the woman, then the child. But in today's dynamic, especially in the feminist movement, that's being challenged. So you're right. When the woman is jockeying for control, men nowadays have to step back and, as you stated, use their mind in order to resolve a situation, instead of getting emotional and pushed to the edge. Because for one thing, women know that a man word is his bond, and she knows that strong pride that a man has. So there are some who have been taught to know how to bruise that ego to get that rouse or get that reaction out of a man, especially in public, so it can be documented, and now you caught in the trap. What you think about that,
Right.
Brother?
Right. So a couple of things. I want to speak on the nature of the women that are getting into these conflicts, just so I can remember. And then the other thing on how it's spelled out when it comes to structure within a home, from, the inner to the outer, or, what can also refer to in the animal. We're going to refer to, on certain animals that have the endoskeleton and the exoskeleton.
Okay.
And we're just talking about, men as far as duty-wise,
Right.
guarding the perimeter, going out, getting the energy. We talked about it on the podcast before, going out, gathering up the energy, bringing it back to be cultivated. Now, there is,
Brother
nowadays...
Loki, hold that point. I just want to say this, and then we'll get into that point. I just want to say that you got to remember, the colonizer was the example, and the teacher on relationships. And at one point they didn't allow, some plantations wouldn't allow a marriage between black man and a black woman, because that would show a form of civilization. And so what you all getting ready to receive is a brainwashing, meaning wash that negative concept that was given to the black dynamic of family by the colonizer. We finna wash all that away, and we finna break this thing down mathematically, scientifically, and metaphysically, so you can get a clear understanding in order to better relationships. Because you got to remember, that was the first teacher and for as what he taught in this new Christian era. and what he taught in this English dialect and what he was teaching us in order to form or make a better slave for himself. And so in 2020, we got to come out of that slave mind to a renewed, free mind. And I just wanted to set the course in the path that we're getting ready to travel down. So I just wanted to put that in, Brother Loki, but continue on with what you were saying.
Okay, so this all comes down to duty when it comes to the household and balance. So let's say, you have, you got the protection aspect as far as, and this is, built in to our anatomy even, so the man is, built to protect, to provide. Now you have households where, both people work and, for me, personally, this is what works for me. Whatever people choose, it's up to you as an individual. Is that I'll go, and I'll do whatever needs to be done. I may not always like, it may be a 9 to 5. It may be, something that I would. Of course, we would all love to be able to just strictly focus on our purpose, but we'll break up the time throughout the day. So, and then for my lady is, I told her, well, since I'm doing something that I don't like to do in order to, bring in the resources, then whatever you do to be able to add on, just make sure it's not something that's going to put you under mental in a strenuous mental state, because I'm taking on that particular load, so that's what works for us. We don't have no issues with that, and but a balance, it's all about having balance, all about doing what works for each individual household, and it has a whole lot to do with mentality. So my mentality is that if we're basing on what our ancestors are doing, we'll just go and we'll go hunt. We'll bring back what we bring it back home, and it gets cultivated, within a home by the feminine energy. So what I'm dealing with personally is, a version of that, shaped for modern day, still wanting to, tap into some of this luxury that we, and that we just haven't decided to do away with. We still want to have, nice vehicles, and we want nice things for our homes, and we want nice, homes with a lot of room, and the dog and the fence, these are things that we grew up on and have become accustomed to, or some people aspire to. So if we're gonna be pursuing that, then we got to take what comes with that, So, because otherwise, like I say, you don't want to deal with none of this, and you don't want to deal with people politics. Move to the jungle, and live a jungle book life. And there ain't nothing wrong. I ain't saying there's nothing wrong with that. Ain't no right or wrong. I'm just saying that if you want to partake of this, don't complain. This is the choice that you make. If you want to be here, you got to have to deal with it. You got to deal with people and their politics. You have to deal with, bringing in resources if you want to, live this kind of life. That's it's as far as duty is concerned. Is that, let's say, when it comes to how we're navigating the ship. When you're navigating the ship as the captain, then you are held liable for if there's any misdirection, if there's any mistakes that's made. That's a heavy load to take on. Now, inside of the ship, the people on the ship, they got to be fed, they got to be nurtured. There's a lot of things that have to happen on the interior, and metaphysically, the interior is the feminine energy. The exterior is the masculine energy. Right. Yin and yang. The black part is the feminine energy. It's the black color frequency, because the womb when a child is being cultivated inside of it is in pitch blackness. That's why it's called triple stage darkness or triple stage blackness, talking about the 3 trimesters of birth. It also corresponds with the subconscious mind. The subconscious is like fertile soil. That's why in the 5% we call the woman the earth, because she is fertile. That is where the child is cultivated. So, so what we're talking about is all inner concepts, all, like I was saying earlier, about endoskeleton, so on and so forth. So the subconscious, the conscious mind is represented by the color white. The subconscious is represented by the color black. You go deep enough into the ocean, it's pitch blackness. I can go on and on with the correspondence. So I'm saying that in nature, the reason why these things actually work when you apply it is because it's shaped within our very constitution. These principles. We just was when our ancestors went through the triangular slave trade, they were taught things that was outside of their nature by an unnatural hybrid, group of people. And so it's the reason why we're surrounded by, concrete and not, there's less nature, there's less trees around us, because, the way the people that took over the jurisdiction were dealing with something totally different in terms of environment and their politics, their people politics. So, we're getting back to the yin and the yang, the simplistic, things that work together, masculine and feminine, for the balance, so that's
right. That's
that
right.
part.
But this is me though, brother Loki. Look, I'm driving a ship, right, which I would call the Black Ark, right, like Noah's Ark, the Black Ark, right.
Right.
Then okay, so say if I'm coming from on the ship, if I'm coming from Africa to the Americas, right. Say if it's a 17-month journey, right? I'm going to have enough provisions for 18 months. Then I'm going to say, look, we got enough food for everybody to eat breakfast and dinner, right? We'll get there in 17 months. Everything is laid out. I'm going to even lay the math down and the science on why we doing this, right? I'm on the ship. Then I'm going to turn around and say, now, look, if anybody can't hang with that, don't get on the boat. You know what I mean? And if we in the middle of the ship and we are in the middle of the journey, and you got some disagreeables or somebody that can't agree with the term that we agreed upon before we got in the ocean, then I'm gonna say, okay, well, fucking abandon ship, nigga, dive off the ship. You know what I'm saying? Because the goal is to get the ship to its destination. Whether you want to ride, then come on in. If you don't, then get off the ship. You know what I mean? But the ship got to get to its docking point. And it can't get there with folks' emotions and feelings, and you know what I'm saying? I think this way, and I think, and I'm saying that to come down because most ships are called off a female name, feminine name, right? And the female, it seems like sometimes I don't know if it's their job, but they test you, and one of the reasons that they test you could be to see if you actually know what you're doing. You know what I mean? But if I plot my course and I did the math on the course and I know the exact mileage, I know the time we're gonna get there, I know. And I'm prepared for whatever would be, meaning as far as if it rains or I got to deal with some big waves or whatnot. We prepared for all that. If something happens and there's a little hole getting the ship, we got the thing to mend it back and, keep this thing rolling, right? But I'll have that prepared. And those things will be in order regardless. But you're right. You can't stop the feminine energy from assuring herself that that the man knows what he's doing before we set sail in this journey we call life. So, they got to test the waters to make sure that the boat is solid, the buoyancy, it can sustain. So okay, that's fine. We can do that. But what I'm saying is, but at the end of the day, if I say the ship is ready, then either you're gonna believe in me and get aboard, or you not. But regardless, I'm sailing. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Regardless.
Yes, sir.
But
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? Because the reason being is, see, with black men in America, right? It's twofold with us, bruh. Because one is it's like 11-1, and it's more in certain states, right? Right. We've been conquered, and we prisoners of war, as you related to in the previous podcast. So now, as we starting to stand back up, damn, when we look around, man, look at all these women around us who needs knowledge, who needs guidance, right? Now, okay, so you might have a female with you that you guide, and they have to understand that that's a privileged position, because I have foresight, I have vision, and she also has foresight. She has vision. We work in tandem. Let's get the job done. But behind me, hell, it's 11 other women that would like to be in your position.
Right.
But we lost the ways to where we can have more than one wife. Or that's not popular today, like we had up under this system. And so,
right.
And so now,
which I think is a European thing.
is European
monogamy.
Right.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we took on that.
I mean, hey, but hey, somebody that's an expert in it, can speak more thoroughly to it.
That's right. But the point I'm trying to make is, look, if it ever gets to a point to where she feels as though she can fly off and go further and do more, or reach the end, or figure in her mind that this is further we can go, that's fine. Go out, venture, and see where the God wants to take you, because that would leave room for me to bring somebody else up from their current situation and condition, and bring them up, and let's keep moving from where they was at. Each one teach one. Let's build. Let's keep rolling.
So I want to speak to that point. Is that part of the problem is that a lot of men don't have that kind of mentality. What they'll do is they'll would rather beef with the chick and get into these yelling matches and getting snatched up. Some dudes go as far as to kill their ladies and commit suicide, kill the children. You get all emotional, and just do all kind of, just off kilter, the things out of just not having control over their emotions and just lacking an understanding.
Yeah.
So I mean that's just an accident waiting to happen. So what's best is that, and two, I wanted to mention that, men, they need to understand that a lot of women out here have quite a lot of masculine energy, and a lot of the dudes out here got a lot of feminine energy. So that's causing that's causing a lot of problems, man. And because there's no balance when it's, and you know, and what I mean is that, like, if you see, let's say, a dude, you know, yelling at the top of his lungs at his chick, you know, he done lost control over his emotions. He's displaying feminine energy. If a woman is on the opposite end doing the same thing with the man, she's displaying masculine energy. What this means is just showing an imbalance. There's no balance, there's no control, because your chakras or your emotions, they function, they're either overactive, underactive, or balanced. You know, so
wow.
so you know, when you know this beefing is going on in the household, and you know all this, there's all these tests. You know, women is constantly testing. You know, the man is he's probably you know, display some feminine energy and some heavy imbalance. And two, man, you know, for the brothers, you know, if you're dealing with a woman that's beefing with you, she may already, you know, be dealing with another, with your replacement. And you know, and if she's not already, then you know it will be a coming, and to a theater near you, and you know, a woman can't respect a man that's not willing to stand up for himself. Right. You know, and if you can't stand up to your lady, then how you gonna stand up to a dude? You know, that's you know, you walking around the store and he slap on the ass. What you gonna do? If you can't stand up to your woman, you ain't gonna do shit. You know, so and on top of that, if you can't stand up, you know, to your lady, then how you gonna protect the child? Because it always comes back to the child. The child, whether a woman has a child or not, she has a natural maternal instinct to have a father in position, or a father figure in position, that's going to be the number one example of a strong, you know, man, you know, that handles his business, goes out there and gets the energy, brings it back as the example. And if she's with a dude that doesn't display certain qualities of you know, that we know stand up men to be, then she's gonna step out, you know, and eventually move on, more than likely.
But see, the thing, true. The thing is, true. If a man, if a woman is making money and a man is not making money, or when you file your taxes, they call it head of the household, she's not gonna respect him anyway, because he can't create a stable foundation. Now, if a man comes and slap a woman on the ass, and her man is in the stove, and she don't turn around and start choking that nigga, and he come around and help her choke him, the dude, whoever does it, then that's not a lady. That's not a lady. See, that's the thing. See, man, see, think about it. When the late 70s and 80s hit, and they started, you would have these songs where women were saying nothing going on but the rent, and I don't need a man, and okay, fine. The man is gone, right? But how you gonna teach your daughter how to be a woman and how to respect a man if you didn't have that example? Right? She clueless. Mm-hmm. So what a man will do is say, okay, that's okay. Because it's 11-1. This is what I do. I take you, right, and I teach you. Now I even show you, because I understand what we went through as a people. And so you need guidance. You didn't get guidance, that's fine. We'll do this. But if she can't respect that, or can't turn around what she didn't get taught, then okay, next. That's why the divorce rate is so high. Next. You know what I mean? But hopefully you picked up something within the dispensation and time that you was with that man. You know what I'm saying? But then on the flip side of that, though, if the man didn't have example of a man and he gets with a woman who had an example of what things could go, she might give him a chance. Okay, well, look, I'm going to see how you handle these bills. I'm going to see how you make sure the vehicles is running. I'm going to see how you have our yard, our lawn looking. I'm going to see, you see what I'm saying? And after time, if those things ain't falling in place, okay, well, cool. You had to decide, let me move on and bring somebody in here who can do it.
Right.
Because you got to realize at the end of the day, we are rebuilding ours. We coming up out of, man, you know, we just have 350 years ago. That ain't no long time. We still getting the stench of slavery. And when I say slavery, I ain't talking about just the Africans that come to America. I'm talking about from Brazil, from North, South, and Central America. Native black. They scooped us all up and had us under this system. You know, but put it like this: when you got a free mind, and you have options, it's chess. It's like, okay, you know, I'm gonna be all right. You know, I know how to make money. You know, so so the thing is, so let me show and let her show her man, let the man show the woman how to let's rise above the bullshit. But it's like Lot and his wife. Lot's wife couldn't rise above the bullshit, so she looked back and got turned to a pillar of salt. Lot kept moving on. But it's opportunity if you believe and trust in, because I got the mathematics, I got the roadmap, let's roll. But if the weight of the world is pulling on you, then you don't get sucked in, but I ain't finna get sucked in with you.
Right. So I got some advice for the brothers and sisters out there. For the brothers, if you're dealing with a woman and she beefing with you, yelling at you, calling you a punk ass nigga and all that, you need to move on. It's already over, brother.
Yeah, move on.
And you need to move on. And if you try to salvage, she's gonna lose more and more respect for you. And as well, you know, for the brothers in general, if you're dealing with a masculine woman displaying a lot of masculine energy, you know, and you need to learn what that is, you know, and watch, and you need to learn about words and listen to the words that's being said and the actions that's being committed, because I see it every day, man. I be looking at these dudes and I look at them getting, you know, women call them bitches, call them outside their name. They beat, you know, punch on them, and, you know, and some of the stuff they say, like, I'll whoop your ass, and all that's masculine energy. That's not a feminine a trait. That's not a woman displaying feminine energy. It's just that we've been around it so much for so long that a lot of dudes and just got accustomed to it, and they'll laugh it off, but they don't understand that, you know, while it's funny in one moment, the next moment something go down and she just slapped the dude. You know, so you thought it was funny when she was just punching on you, playing, but you just, because a lot of brothers don't recognize masculine energy when it's being displayed by a woman. So, you know, I just look at the dudes from a distance, and you know, I keep my distance. And for the sisters, last thing for the brothers is that if y'all brothers come into this understanding and stop dealing with these women with all this masculine energy, then eventually, naturally, a change will occur, you know, because women ain't going to want to be left behind once they realize that it's those particular acts that's causing men to leave, you know, by the legions, then an adjustment will be made. For the sisters,
No, you're right. No, go ahead. But the sisters, I'm listening about.
For the sisters, is condoning feminine bitch shit in these men is also a problem. You know, you got these dudes out here that trying to imitate you. you're condoning it. You're walking around with them. You're giving them all the game, that you got. You tell them all your business. It's all right because you got the gay dude or you got the feminine dude that's following you around, and you get to talk. You got somebody you can talk his head off. And he's just soaking it all up so he could try to be you. But this is just causing this is causing an imbalance, because then when this example has become like a trend amongst our people. So, it's principle of correspondence is that a dude that his wrist is completely broke is nothing but there's only a certain amount of degrees of separation between that dude and the bitch ass dude. So if you condone in the dude with the complete broke wrist, then that that influence from that person is just like a vibration and a spirit that can get attached to another person's aura, and then to the next person, and then, and you see now that this is where trends come into play, because when something is condoned and it becomes a norm, then it becomes a trend, so when it was an abnorm and it wasn't trendy, then you saw less of it, because all this is just choices and all this is just vibrations and just spirits. You got your choice of what spirits and vibration you want to deal with. There's no right or wrong. But if you want to deal in balance, which is naturally built into our Constitution, then we know what we got to do. And we know what's bullshit, and we know when motherfuckers, you just talking to somebody to feed your ego. But you got to make a sacrifice and let that shit go, because feeding into, these dudes displaying all this feminine energy is having an impact that affects you see the uncles, cousins, your sons, that vibration is contagious, yeah, man, and a woman, when she feels, at her maximum level is when she is completely in her feminine energy. And when she's able to be completely in her feminine is the highest level as far as feeling and vibration for a woman. A woman doesn't want to be in her masculine energy naturally. Whenever, it's just like, let's say when you got a woman, we'll just use sex for an example. A woman that is fully engaged in the actual act is that she feels like she's with a powerful masculine man, not no bitch ass dude, not no broke wrist dude, not no lame dude that can't protect shit. When she's with a masculine dude, a real man, stand up dude, is when she's able to be completely at her highest level of feminine, because she's in when that act is occurring, that's masculine, that's yin and yang coming together, So, dudes and women, y'all need to keep that in mind, man, because if you want to be in your highest level of feminine, then you can't condone, bitch shit with dudes. And dudes, if you want to be in your highest level of masculine, then you got to be a man, and you got to stand 10 toes down, and you can't accept no bullshit, because you are the example. This is how to bring the balance back, and there ain't no way around it. You can't be snatching up these women, and you got to move on. If it's like that, if she calling out your name, if she putting your hands on you, if she's mistreating you, you need to move on. Bottom line.
Right. That's that creative energy that I personally believe that was created by the colonizer. I feel, and I could be wrong, but I feel as though since 1555, prior to 1555, and I like, root knowledge, our ancestors, right, had a position for male and for female. But I believe that when the colonizer amalgamated into our society and started taking on our culture, because they lost their culture in Europe, because they don't speak the same dialect, they don't dress the same way, they don't do everything that they do now. They totally immersed in our society, from the rap music, from the dress, from the style. You see white women trying to get their hips bigger, their lips fuller, and whatnot. But he wants to rule. So the main thing is to take the native man, the black man of this in this land, and demasculate him. Come with this feminine energy. That way he can say he is the man, which some black folks gave him the title as the man. Some black women even call him the man. Some black women even say Uncle Sam they daddy because they give him food stamps and all of this here because they feel as though the black man has been conquered. And so they treating black men like we a conquered man. Like we can't, because in any society, if you can't protect your woman, she don't have no respect for you anyway. Right? That was the whole purpose when you see the Honorable Elijah Muhammad stated, respect and protect the black woman if you want to. So that way we can keep like you said earlier, we can keep a balance. Because you got a percentage of black men who say, no, it's going this way or the goddamn highway. Which one you want? But we got to roll because, like you said, we got to protect the integrity and the dignity of us as males. But you're right. Now it started when white women didn't have the right to vote. So they fighting their husband. Then they pulled in black women into their fight when a black man didn't care about a black woman making no money or voting and none. That wasn't even our cause. Black women jumping. Now we should have stopped it right then. Don't take your ass down there to the white women's marches. You have nothing to do with that. We over here got something good. You can go vote. You can go. Well, we both. It takes two because we trying to rebuild the wealth that was stolen from us here. You know what I'm saying? We trying to get back. We got a mission. We got a game plan. Let's work together in harmony. But no, and you right too. But no, everything that we said don't do, they said do. The female, she did start bringing her homosexual friends, gay friends around, introducing them and trying to make it seem cool. Then when the homosexual started hitting on her man, she started getting mad. He started dissing her. Hey, you created that monster. You created Frankenstein. You know what I mean? And black men got to stand up and say that shit, man. Like you right. So what they gonna do to us? So what? What you gonna do? You know what I mean? Hey, we have to get back. If not, look, check this out, bro. True story. In Boston, bro, the median income for black people in Boston is $8. The median income for white folk in Boston is $247,500, bro. They saying they setting themselves up to a second slavery. Now, what now you come on, how women gonna respect nigga your whole $8, man? And we can't unite and create industry for ourselves? Of course it's gonna be in off balance. That's why you see black women running off with white men and Asians and you know what I mean? Because the dynamic, you're right, the 60s black man and the early 70s black man of stature, it's not prevalent because now they're saying, okay, white man call us boys and call them gals. He want to be the man and he want us to play the role of the boy, right? And like you said, those of us who understand that we do not finna catch us, men pants sagging or not representing manhood, you know. And one thing, a man is a builder. And you said something earlier, which is, man, I was just on that. Look, bro, the most powerful science is opposites attract and like repel, and to find that balance in between. If we can, bro. I don't know how to solve, bro. I mean, listen to the low frequency vibration in the music. Listen to Megan Thee Stallion talking about she blow a man back out and talking about, and men ain't coming out saying, what the fuck you talking about? Nick, go along and get along. You know what I'm saying? And the sad part about it is it's gonna become few of us and more of them punk motherfuckers. Y'all excuse my French, but I'm trying to save a generation. Because you know why? Because once you lose your degree of manhood, then it's easy for the colonizer to come put you back into second slavery. Because what the fuck? You're not justifying your existence as a man on this planet. You know, I advise this to any man, bro. Let's get in with a woman. Any man. Lay your ground rules out in the beginning. I'm for this. I'm for this. I'm not for this. I do this, and I'm not gonna do that. That way is a clear understanding. And anytime things step out of that boundary, then you know what to do. But
oh man,
come on, God.
I just had to say, man, brother, get your shit together first before you even start dealing with any woman on a serious level. You know, get your household together, man, because how is a woman gonna respect the dude, and the dude is dependent on the woman?
Did you live
you're putting double duty on her, man. That's too heavy of a load, man.
Yeah.
You know,
she got to move you. Now I say she got to move you into her mama house.
You feel me? You feel me?
It's over.
And I understand circumstances are what they are, but I just tell you what worked for me. My father was on my ass when I was a young teenager to get your resources, you know, do whatever you got to do, you know, legal, you know, for you to be able to provide, you know, have food, clothing, and shelter. So I've had that since I was a teenager.
Come on.
You know, and, you know, blessing, you know, peace be upon her for, you know, blessing me with that game right there, you know.
Yes,
so when women come into my life, they were living with me.
Come on.
You know, and I mean, it's just about making the sacrifice to make that a reality. There's no room for excuses.
Yeah.
You know, bottom line, there's just not. Kobe, if we talk about, you know, peace be upon him, Mamba mentality, he didn't have no excuses. He always went hard. That's his legacy, is go hard. That's right. What he is most known for, is going hard, no excuses. And the Mamba, that's heavy signs behind that. We ain't even got to get into that, but we gotta get it, man. We gotta have food, clothing, and shelter before we start trying to bring, you know, this feminine energy into, you know, the humble abode. Get your shit together first, man. That way, you deserve to be able to take on that level of responsibility.
Right.
You know,
right.
And
you're right. But responsibility is acquired. Understanding responsibility is acquired over time. That's why you have to, when you meet someone, you have to look into their background to see if they can handle the responsibility. Because sometimes if they're not used to it, it becomes weight, and they can't handle that weight. So you got to make sure they can handle that weight, because you're trying to get it. Look, I need you to do this here. We got this here. You got that covered. You got, because it's moving. You know, you everybody got a part to play. Can you uphold your part? If it get too heavy for you, that's okay. Let's find a good run. I understand, door open. I got to ship somebody, like you say, somebody else in. They can carry low, keep rolling. But the end game is get to the destination, man. That way, two things. That way, your next generation, that's your lineage, your seed, you can give them an inheritance, just in case when your days has come and you depart from the planet. They got an inheritance. And two, just in case reincarnation is real, you want to make sure your seed is well equipped in case you come back down that line, and you don't want to come back to no shack in the woods with no plumbing. You know what I'm saying? Like that, man. You know what I'm saying? They get the shit together. You know what I'm saying?
Big home. Shout out to Ayo Kaseko, man. Straight stop acting like a bitch ass nigga, man. Get your shit together.
For real.
And for the women, man, take off your combat boots, man, and stop being biased and let's get this thing together, man. Let's have some balance. We all got plenty of work to do. There's plenty of workload to go around. You're an expert in your field. I'm an expert in mine. Let's bring it together and we do it like that, man.
I'm gonna show you the ultimate power move. Where that shut a lot of cats down. Snoop went up on Gayle King, called her a long-haired dog bitch or whatever he called her, right? And Susan Rice come out and say, Snoop, stand the fuck down. She started talking about her army, a female. She finna put this black man in check, right? And a lot of these niggas with platforms was quiet. They ain't say who you talk with. Hey, hold up, Susan. We got army too. Fuck you talking about? Your army. You know what I'm saying? Wait, hold on. Wait. You know what you saying? If you got a white husband, and when you talking about him and his folks, hey man, cause see, when it get down to the wire, man, that's when it's gonna count, man. When it get down to the wire, bro. When it get down to the wire. It was got quiet, man.
Okay, so on that whole debacle, is that this is we some years back. We have these things for the year, and one of the things for one of the years was finesse. So my thing, for me, man, is I'm all about that. I don't have a whole lot to say. I'm really more about action, and the thing about right now, we playing chess every day,
right?
And the more heavy is the head that holds the crown. So the further reach that you got, the more impact that you can have every time you throw a hook, a jab, whatever the case. And so, my thing, me understanding in detail what, where some women are what they're saying and what they, have issues with, and this is talking to women that got knowledge of self, is that I would suggest more use your mind and use your finesse in order to be able to get what you want. Because me and Black, we was talking, before the podcast, we was talking about there's higher levels than pimping, and I'm just talking about psychologically, psychology wise, because there are a bunch of Iceberg Slim books, and you got books about pimp sets out there, and while there is information in there about psychology, is that if you get to the end of the book, you realize that the pimp said that, man, I got locked up, I was in the pen, I was trying to escape the pen, I got into all these physical conflicts with the women that I was dealing with, I had, certain mother issues, and, so on and so forth, because I've seen, I've read, and whether it was an audio book, I've heard the material, and I've heard the stories, I've seen the interviews, but there's higher levels when it comes to the understanding of psychology. So, for the dudes out there, if you ever had your hand in that, don't be so far in your ego to where you can't understand that there's higher levels in that. The dude just said that some of the most well-known pimps that went through hell, right, behind living that particular lifestyle. And when it was all said and done with, if you, to me, you would be a fool to say that is the highest level of maneuvering when it comes to people politics. So quite literally, there's higher levels of psychology, when it comes to getting your point across.
That's right.
So yeah, man.
Fact. My advice, my advice, man, is coming from Cold Black. My advice is, Black folk, and if you watch Everyday People the movie, Free Rick Ross. And y'all go to YouTube, check out Everyday People, the movie. But Free Rick Ross is talking about post-traumatic slavery disorder, right? But I come to understand that all black people not going to get therapy for what took place. And when we do need to seek that. But my advice is, look, build the building. If you got psychological issues and you depressed, just nail the board. Cry, nail the board, but just nail the board. Build the building so you can come out from the rain. Whatever you going through, just build. You still go through it, but just build the building. Don't not build the building. Be out in the rain, depressed and crying because of something that took place because you got psychological issues or you going through an emotional drama. Everybody going through something. Keep building. Keep rolling. So what? Fuck it. Everybody who ain't going through something. You can't sit on the curb. Can't sit on the curb and drowning your sorrows and all this shit. You know what I mean? Still nail that board up, man, while you going through what you're going through. Still go out, man, and make money while you're going through what you're going through. And do the physical. At least pack the emotion with you. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? But you still got to build regardless. Hell, you can't, you know what I mean? You can't not build because your feelings hurt or you going through some emotional trauma or your lady left you or you got, you know what I'm saying? Man, she still got to roll anyway. You still got to eat, like you said, bro. You still food, clothing, shelter, any goddamn way. You get that down. You know, rest come with it. Yeah. You know, matter of fact, you build just something nice, man. Come on in out the rain. You know what I'm saying? Instead of wasting all that time soaking in your misery. Cause time gonna fly by you. It's gonna fly. Man, low key, bro. Sorry, man. It's always, you know, when we drop this science, man. This has been a pleasure, man. That's what's up, man. This is another one for the records, bro.
Yeah, definitely. Always a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Verbal Prick Radio, we out. And Brother Low Key, till next time, man, y'all definitely check us out. And like I said before, Verbal Prick Radio.
What thing, bro? Go ahead, man.
Nah, I'm gonna say, and check out Brother Low Key and the Soul of a God. And you can find that on SoundCloud. What you saying, bro?
Man, you can find it on SoundCloud. On YouTube, we just dropped the official video by Shachi Films. That's the number 4. You can go on YouTube, type in the number 4, LO-KI. Same thing with SoundCloud. SoundCloud.com/the number 4, LO-KI. Check us out, man. So, look at God, we on, yeah.
What you finna add before we burn out?
Man, that's it.
That's it. We out of here.
Yeah.